Om Shanti. Let's take a moment to experience the words that the song spoke about and set ourselves on the seat of who I am is an angel of the Master Angel, Supreme Father, Shiv Baba. Today's Murli is based on Baba's message to all of us as to what it means to be an angel, and Baba is defining to us how do we transform ourselves this conference stage from a Brahmin to the stage of an angel. Today's Murli gives us the methods is how to overcome the weaknesses and get ourselves on the stage and the form of an angel and perform our task in this conference age. As we all know that Brahman becomes an angel and the angel becomes a deity. So let's read this Murli together, which is dated 2nd of February 1976. Title of the Murli is The Sign of Being Loving to the Father is to Become Angelic. The whole Murli is based on a lot of inquiry questions, which let's reflect on these inquiry questions. And when we churn, we will get into deeper insights of these questions. Does your future constantly stay in front of you? The more you instrument souls keep your future in front of you, the more you will be able to inspire others to create this future. So what is the future Baba is talking here about? He's talking about the future of the conference age, which is to be an angel, and the next future, the golden age, which is to become a deity. If your future is not clear, you cannot show them the path to make their future clear. So Baba is asking, is your future clear to you? Before you become an emperor or empress, are your future angelic form and karmatit stage clearly in front of you? Before you become an emperor or empress, are your future angelic form and karmatit stage clearly in front of you? Do you experience yourself as having played that part of the angelic form every cycle and that you have to play it now? Baba is reminding to all of us that this part of being an angel in the conference age is not something that we are playing for the first time. He says we've been playing this role in each kalpas, in each cycle. Does that glimpse come in front of you? Just as you can see your form in a mirror, in the same way, are you clearly able to have, through your effort, a glimpse of your angelic stage in the mirror of knowledge? Unless you are able to have a glimpse of your angelic form clearly, the future will not be clear to you. Until then, you will constantly keep having such thoughts as, perhaps I will become this or that. However, if you are able to have a glimpse of the angelic form clearly, you will then be able to see everything clearly. So, are you able to see that, or is it still behind a veil? Just as you have the unveiling of a picture in the same way, when will you have the unveiling of your angelic form? Will you do it yourself, or will you invite a chief guest? Now, remove the curtain of weakness from your efforts, and you will have a clear angelic form. Now, while walking and moving, you should experience yourself to be the same as you saw in the Sakar form. The reflection here is, what is the example that we have seen in the Sakar form is Brahma Baba, who had given each soul who had come in his space an experience of being an angel. Now, while walking and moving, you should experience yourself to be the same as you saw in the Sakar form, that's Brahma Baba. While walking and moving around, it was either the angelic form or the future form that Baba experienced. What was the future form that Baba experienced? Which all of us know that Baba was very clear and he was always having the intoxication that he is the one who's going to be Krishna in the golden age and then becoming Narayan. This is why others also had the same experience. I am a teacher, I am a server. This form was automatically adopted according to the time. Now experience yourself to be in the angelic form and you will have visions. Of what form will the visions be? The angelic form. The angelic form while walking and moving around. If you do not become an angel in a practical way, how would you be able to give visions? So, what is the special effort for the teachers? Just that I am an angel, have come onto this earth for service. Angels emerge and then merge. Angels do not stay constantly in this corporeal world. They perform their duty and disappear. In Hindi, it's a very beautiful way in which we say, फरिश्ता वो है जिसका फर्श से कोई रिश्ता नहीं हो. Angels do not stay constantly in this corporeal world. They perform their duty and disappear. So, when you become such angels, you will not be able to keep your feet in the old world of your body and bodily relations. Since you say that you are loving to the Father, but you remain a resident of the corporal world throughout the day, then how can you be loving to the Father? If the father is the resident of the subtle region, since you say that you are loving to the father, but you remain a resident of the corporal world throughout the day, how can you be loving to the father if the father is a resident of the subtle region? Therefore, become an angel who is a resident of the subtle region. Now close and finish all gates to all attractions and achievements, because only then will you be said to be loving. The last stage is to be here while not here. You are special instruments for service, and so you also have to be special in your efforts. When others experience you to be like angels as you walk and move around, they will also be able to take inspiration. If you go beyond the awareness of the corporal world, you will no longer waste your time over trivial matters. So now take a high jump. Further, Baba is explaining what it means to be taking a high jump. Go from the corporal world into the angelic world and have an angelic form. This is called taking a high jump. So let's take this homework for the day today. Every time when we're doing our traffic control or connecting with Baba, we experience ourselves to be an angel and connect with Baba, who is the supreme angel, going in the subtle region. So we go in the subtle region and experience the stage. Little things will then not suit you. This is the special gift from the Father. So what is the special gift from the Father? That once we become or stabilize ourselves in the stage of being an angel, trivial matters will not bother us. We will not be interested in little things. And that's the gift through which Baba lifts us to be an angel. To accept the gift means to be the angelic form. The Father is giving you the picture of the angelic form as a gift. All the old things will be finished with this gift. You must not start to chant why or what. When you have all three powers, the power to decide, the power to discern, and the power to transform, you will be able to give good news to one another. If you do not transform yourself, you would not be able to transform others. And this is the deepest access to become an angel, the power of transformation. Let's listen to this question answer, which is the next part of this Murli, where Baba has very deeply explained the power of transformation. Question is, what power do you especially need in order to put any plan into its practical form? The power of transformation. Unless you have the power of transformation, you will not be able to put your decision into a practical form, because at every place and in every situation, whether it is for the self or for service, you definitely have to transform something. Just as in order to become an embodiment of success, you have to transform your sanskars and nature in the same way in service, You have to transform your ideas somewhere or other. Those who have the power of transformation are able to become successful in any situation because they are those with many forms. While I was reading this, the reflection that I'm getting here is those who have the power of transformation can take any form as the time need, can become a child with while you're playing with a child, become a teacher to a student, become a parent to a child in just 1 second, or become a child to a parent. They will use their plans for service and points in their practical lives. For both, the power of transformation is needed. Because of being knowledgeful, you are able to decide that you need to have this, but you are not able to transform it. The reason for that is a lack of the power of transformation. Those who have the power of transformation will be loved by all and will always be successful. By having determination in your thoughts, you are able to have the instant fruit. You have to transform something and definitely become successful. This is the determined thought. Success is invoking the embodiments of success. It thinks when the embodiments of success come, I can become the garland around their necks. Acha, Om Shanti. The short Murli with a deeper insight to how to become an angel. So let's take few moments of silence and reflect on the various aspects of today's Murli, and then we shall come back to share our journeys from the Murli. Can unmute and share your reflections from today's Murli?
Om Shanti. Good morning.
Om Shanti, brother.
Yeah, very well read. Very nice, Murli. And so I like this. Baba talked about the power of transformation. So it is very essential to have this power. So with this power, we can become a farishta. We can also transform ourselves. Baba says if you don't have, transformation power, not be able to transform you, not only the self but also others. But when I was also getting another reflection on this transformation power, because when we have become Brahmin, right? So there itself was some transformation happened. That means everybody has this power of transformation in a different level, possibly because everybody now proudly say, those who have become Brahmins, they say, I am a Brahmin, a BK. So there a lot of transformation already happened. So that's why we proudly say that, right? And what was the change that we brought in our life is the first special transformation that one done as the realization, and also the change that I am not this body, I'm a soul. That is also a transformation. And then the another reflection that I was getting about this transformation is how we apply, Baba said, no, at the time of need. So when we have this waste thoughts go inside, right? So we know there is so much of waste going through us, and sometime people are we know that there is something waste is going on, and when we try to change that, and then that doesn't happen all of a sudden, right? So that actually indicates that we lack the power of transformation, though to some extent everybody has that power, but some area we still need to work on applying that power of transformation, and then to stop that waste to something powerful, something, a better thought. There, I think we try forcefully to change it, and we sometimes fail, and it still go that waste thoughts, that flow will continue, right? So I guess the power there we lack, though we have the power of transformation, but while using it, I mean, another word we can use is number war. So how we use this power of transformation is number war. So so for me, the takeaway point is this power of transformation, just to check how much this power of transformation I'm able to use at the time of need, and what all have changed, and those things. Thank you.
Thank you, Vijay, for pointing that out. When the moment we became Brahmin, the first thing that we transformed was knowing that I am not my body, but I am the soul. And that's the basis that says that each one of us have the power to transform. It's only practicing that ongoingly is an access to building our muscle in acquiring the power of transformation. Very well shared, Bajit Bhai. And that's one practice that comes very clearly from today's Murli, that Baba is asking us to connect with Baba practically as and when we connect with him in an angelic form, going to the subtle region and experiencing that angelic form ongoingly.
So here, if you check, Baba says to become an angel. So in order to become an angel, we know that we have to settle all the thoughts that are, about the corporeal world, because we know that angels don't belong in this corporeal world. So if you have to fly out of this world, this corporeal world, then in a second you should be able to pack up all your thoughts. There also power of transformation required. Otherwise, you're going to fail, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
So I think, yeah, like you rightly said, how much we use this power frequently, that's where it's going to work within us, and then it's going to take its form. Om Shanti. Thank you, sister.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Divine Family. And today I'm once in this Murli, the wonderful Murli, and I got there's three powers that power to decide, power to discern, and power to transformation. So I realized that the power to decide, first we have to decide to become an angelic form. Yes, become an angelic form. And that decision has to make. Then to discern, power to discern, is to become a best in that situation. Then have to make a decision, then you have to is decide for best thing, discern. And then the transform. And you have to see the picture. That in the picture you have to see that you are transformed. That and the transform of what? Transform of sanskars, your nature. That I like very much. And I'm talking to you, I'm getting the picture also. So this wonderful, perfect. And thanks, Baba. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Uh, Wonderful, Murli. And the point which I would like to share is the first line, that does your future constantly stay in front of you? Uh, the more, I mean, really, when we have this in a subtle form, what we are going to become and what we are right now. The angelic stage is a step closer to the deity stage. So that form, when it is more clear, then we start experiencing that while walking, while talking, while playing a part, while playing parts, various parts throughout the day. So Baba says just being knowledgeful is not enough. One has to go in the subtlety and experience the present form, that is the angelic form, and then which is very close to the deity form. That is one point which Baba says, which can learn from the Sakar form of Baba, how Baba used to experience the in the Sakar form. And I think the Swamans are quite helpful in this. If the Swaman flow naturally, then that's the key. I mean, we start experiencing what we are having, the determined thoughts, and so there the determination also comes into play, because one side, the Maya, also has its own pull and push, and the other side, our thoughts have to be determined. Then only we can counter that force, and then we are in that angelic form. So this angelic form in practical way, Baba has given us the techniques to do it. Uh, that's the takeaway for me. Om Shanti.
Yes, brother. You just brought in the aspect when you mentioned about Maya has its pull and push. And while you were sharing, the reflection that I'm getting here is because Maya has the pull and push, we have the possibility of growing and elevating ourselves to the next level. So just having, even no, with Maya having a space of gratitude. Okay, thank you, you're coming in, but because of you, I'm growing. So bringing that attitude of transformation will support to go to the next level was what I was getting while you were sharing.
Yeah, and just adding a little reflection to this churning is this very powerful line of the Murli. The last stage is to be here while not here. I think that's a very powerful and very deep, insightful statement, Mahavakya from Baba, that what he expects us to be, where we are playing a role and surrounded by all attractions and attachments. Yes, that's the reality. But then we are not attracted or attached to anyone, uh, uh, because deep inside we are Nyara and Pyara, like an angel. So that's the key. That's something like a special Purusharth, or that we don't have any attachments to anything going around in this world. because we have Baba as our world, isn't it? Om Shanti.
Yes. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, sister.
Om Shanti Girijavan.
You know, we have always heard, before even we came to the Gyan, we have heard of angels, whether it's through Christianity or through so many other things, we have heard of angels. And I'm not sure what in our culture we called as angels, because we always associated angels with a Christian culture. The angel is on a way, the angel of the God came down and spoke to the Lord and all. But for us, a peep into the angel was when first time in the history when Brahma Baba asked Dadi Gulzar, to go when Dadi Gulzar came down and said, told Brahma Baba, I saw you, but you were looking so different. You were a lovely form. Something over there, like that dialogue over there. That was the first time in the knowledge when a kind of an angel. But the real proof on 18th January 1969, when Baba left his form and he didn't take another birth, but he went down and took a form, we got a feeling of, oh, there is one more region, subtle region, and there is one more person still waiting us to connect us to the higher jump, that is Brahma Baba. I think that's the first knowledge. Second knowledge, which I've already put in the chat box, which Baba later, because Baba knows he has gone to the subtle region, and all his children also have to follow. So he gave us that BAD, B-A-D. He said, you're a Brahmin, now you have to become an angel. Why? What do I get in becoming an angel? Why should I? Because your future is a deity form. So that Brahmin, angelic deity, what an equation he gave, and he told us to go on a journey. But what the third thing, what I would like to say is the high jump and long jump. When if you see what is a high jump, it's absolutely different from a long jump. Long jump is more horizontal. It is just going from here to there to see how horizontal I can go. But high jump is something different. In high jump, earlier it was called as the Fosbury plop. In the high jump, first they approach, just see, I have to lift my body. So I have to be light. I have to lift my body. And then the takeoff of the body. And then I reach so high, then there will be a kind of bar setup. I have to go on the other side. So that's called as the flop. And then only I can safely land. If I'm not able to cross the bar, my high jump has failed. That was the real athletic high jump. So here also Baba is giving us what should I do to rise up, to go from this corporeal world to the angelic world, light, light, light. So many things are pulling me down, my samskars, my relations. All that I'll have to cut off. For that, I need love for all. Then I approach, then take off. For the takeoff, I need that attraction up over there. And then a bar. I was just visualizing what can be the bar. I've still not got that thing. I was just connecting it to the high jump. And then I go nicely to the subtle world in the arms of Brahma. I was just visualizing because the word high jump gave a meaning. Approach, take off, flop, and land. I have reached Brahma. I have reached the subtle region. Om Shanti.
Very well given the distinction between long jump and high jump, Girijaban. And that's what Baba says, to become an angel, you need to take a high jump. High jump from where, as Om Bhai also pointed out, off from attractions, off from attachments. And another point that you put on the group, which actually got me to think on, the word bad is usually taken as negative, but you gave that acronym of bad stands for Brahmin to angel to deity. Isn't that itself a power of transformation? Making something negative as positive. So thanks for sharing those 2 points.
Uh, just adding on to one more point with the power of transformation. So there Baba says in this Murli, those who have the power of transformation will be loved by all and will always be successful. So this point will be loved by all. So in another way, we can say that this power of transformation is the power to mold themselves. That's where they become real gold, right?
Yes, brother.
Raki sister, I just wanted to add for this part of transformation. Again, I was connecting it with that high jump only. See, for a person who's doing high jump, she has to find out, she has to say, what should I do? What should I not do? And of course, practice is there. She has to see what were the goals of the earlier jumpers. How much did they jump? What more should I do to do that? What part of my body should I lose out? Or what should I take in so that I go beyond that thing over here? So, here, how nicely Baba gave us the three powers, of course, decide, discern, and all. But if you see, he has just explained about transformation. And that one sentence, I was just thinking, that is the task, I think, which is important or maybe difficult. What Baba said in the Murli is, for self or surface, definitely you have to transform something. So before even I want to transform, what I have to transform? What is that which is lacking me from going up? That I think is such a big power. So that's why Baba very casually put the word decide and discern. But that's the major task. Because once I'm decided and then I'm able to discern, then transformation becomes very easy. I become light, I can move fast, there is positivity, I'm motivated and all. But I think for us Brahmins, that's the challenge to find out what is that weakness in me which does not allow me to take a high jump. So I was thinking, how do I go about it? And Baba very clearly says, definitely have to transform something. So I think that's a challenge and exercise for each one of us in every situation. And it differs from person to person. It cannot be the same. Everything differs over here. So I think that also is a big exercise I have to do.
True. Would anybody like to share further or share their journey on how to use these three powers? The way Alpesh Bhai explained, the way Girishaben explained, is there any other thought that we would want to reflect on? Which power uh, would be the first power for us to stand in, and from there we take the other two powers to stabilize ourselves or reach the stage of being an angel? Any reflections there?
Om Shanti, sister. Basically, the first step is the power of awareness. The awareness which has been brought out in the initial part of today's Murli, to that the creation of that awareness, the right awareness at the right elevated level, will be the first. I mean, that's my view, and I've experienced this. Moment my awareness shifts, uh, it's basically shifting of the gears. Once you shift the gear, you will be intense efforts. And what are the efforts? Efforts are basically, the ingredients are thoughts, feelings, emotions, and the intellect and actions. Everything falls in place, and even the other powers also. But I think first step is power to create a suitable awareness that who am I, and what kind of relationship I have with the supreme authority at the moment. Am I experiencing that? So that's what Baba means by the future. You experience the future. Who are you? Who you are going to become? And then everything falls in place. All powers, power to decide, discern, and transform, they are automatically there. We don't have to put in efforts there. but the efforts are required. Efforts of determination are required to have the right awareness. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Today, in today's Murli, Baba is talking about transformation. And as Baba is talking about transformation, he's talking in a very, very simple way. He just tells that put your lakshya, put your destination in front of you, that what actually you want to become. And today in the Murli, Baba wants us to put your angelic form, put your Lakshmanarayan form, put your destination form, put your Paripakva form, put your complete form in the focus. And when you are focusing it, while focusing it, what you're doing Purusharth to become like that. As we all know that whatever we are in present is the outcome of the past. And whatever that will be in the future will be the outcome of the present. That means outcome of the Purusharth, that what we do, what we are doing it. Putting the angelic form as a focus means we are doing Purusharth accordingly. As we want the product, so we have to design it, and so we have to prepare it and pack it accordingly. So what I feel today, that the angelic form, the first letter A, tells us that you have to be aware that what I am. I'm not a body, I'm the light. And when we are aware of that, what will happen? The next letter N, that the Nirakari form, Nirvikari form, Nirahankari form will come automatically. That is, as we are adorned with divinity, as we become audacious, that is bold enough, then we get detached from all the bodily things, all the materialistic things, and we become Nirakari, Nirvikari, and Nirahankari. And as Nirakari, Nirvikari, Nirahankari, which is nothing but the outcome of being Gyan Swarupa, Gyan Amurta, which comes initially we become Gyan Mukha, then Gyan Vacha, then Gyan Swarupa and Gyan Murta. Due to that only we become Nirakari, Nirvikari, Nirahankari. And in that process, another letter E, that will become equal to Baba, we become embodiment of what Baba wants us to be. And the final letter L, that is Loveleen with connected to Baba, combined to Baba, that itself means that we are free. As the word Farishta also tells, Farsh se koi rishta nahi hai, sirf arsh se rishta hai. And another thing, what interesting, which I got while churning, that this angelic form is only in this Sangam Yuga. Angels are not there in the Satyuga. Om Shanti.
Yes, very well said that angels are there in the conference age and not in Satyuga. And that's one more reflection in today's Murli where Baba says, be present to your future. And which future is he talking about? Future in the conference age to become an angel, and then the future in the golden age to become a deity. So,
See,
and then
when Baba,
another thing that you mentioned, yeah, go ahead.
when Baba talks about in the future, as we all know that we have to plan just the next day what we have to become, next day what we have to become. In that process, Baba tells that as the Purusharth, which Baba tells, the acronym which I tried to say, that we have to do Purusharth in that way, and you have to become angel. And it is definitely, and it is just a default, that if a person becomes angel, he has to become deity. No doubt about that. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. There's a point that Radhamani sister has mentioned here. Now close all gates of attachment. That's one method that Baba is talking today to become an angel. Be off all attractions and attachment. Let's take one more sharing. Yeah, go ahead.
Rakhi Ben, one line I want to add.
Yeah.
That when the word present came in the mind, what I started thinking, that let us do a Purusharth in the present. As such, we at Baba's, we cannot what that we have got from Baba, we cannot return it. But definitely, if we can do Purusharth as Baba wants, definitely in the present, if you do such Purusharth, that we become presentable and we become a present for Baba. That's the gift for Baba. Om Shanti.
Rakiman, can we take one example from you for laziness? I've just put in the chat box, like this, the decide, discern, transform. Just one example. So Baba has given in the Murli for success. Like suppose I want to remove laziness. So these powers, like a practical thing.
Okay, let me make an attempt and give an example of what had been my experience. So when I look at transforming a particular thing, so you would give an example of laziness. For me, I would say I'm working on my stage of getting angry or getting irritated. First, being aware of that what are my triggers? Where do I get irritated? What are the areas that comes in my way? So for me, if somebody shouts, my doors are closed, then I will not speak anything. Now, first getting aware of this is my trigger, getting present every time when this happens. What is my energy? Is it energy which is disempowering me? And that had been the case from the time when I started working on this. Today, I can say that my triggers, even if they come in, I can catch myself. Why? Because I took this first step of getting aware that this is what it is. So my anger levels have come down because I will not say it's completely gone, but it is definitely moved from 100% to today, maybe at 70% because of awareness and the willingness to transform. So being catching myself and with awareness, bringing the power of transformation here, that I want to transform and then working towards it. Only when I was ready to transform from this state that I don't want to be angry at the small trivial things and I want to be peaceful all the time. Got that right for myself. Do I fall? Yes, I even fall today while I'm practicing this. But I'm aware that this is where I want to make changes. So catching myself while the power of awareness gave me the power to transform and knowing that the power to discern and power to decide, all the four powers helped me to curb or to bring down my levels of getting angry or frustrated or irritated from these triggers, whether it is in relationship or any situation. That's something which works for me. Invite others to share their experiences. Would anybody like to share on the question that Gijaban asked?
Om Shanti. Thank you, sister. One I realized the power to miss. First, you have to decide what we have to do. Suppose in my life, suppose I want to achieve particular goal. I am a goal-oriented person, and I have to achieve that goal. So first I have to decide is that achievement I have to make. You know, so that achievement I have to make at that particular goal I have to achieve. Then to discern. So then after comes the discern. Uh, yes. And this power, these three powers continuously miss. This one by one we have to use that power, and then ultimately when using that, so we can complete that achievement. एक मिनट ना wait. right? The power to discern. That the power to discern me help to step back, help us to step back from ourselves and any situation and influence of others and see clear picture and choose how to act for the best. Yes, power to discern. Yani power to discern means you have to do the best, and that the best thing, that goal, I have to achieve that, and I have achieved that. That base thing you have to discern, and then how to transform myself. For that we have to take the action of what we have to take. So what we have to take the action of transforming our the sanskars. The old sanskar not leads to go to achieve my that goal, but the new sanskar miss, I have to constantly miss to decide the miss that to achieve that goal. And we then we complete this, use this power in my daily use continuously. So I achieved that goal. And thanks, Baba. And we become what we want. Om Shanti.
Shanti, I would like to share one. Sorry,
Yeah, Dilip bhai, go
somebody
ahead.
wants about. Someone else is there, then. So, regarding this question asked by Kirijapan about the laziness, so I thought I'll share my experience. So, I think first of all, realizing that I am lazy, that itself is a very good point. I mean, that's a very good step that you have realized, or one realized that they are lazy at some point. So so often I had this laziness. Even I too, still I might be having somewhere or the other, because laziness means I'm not doing something in a worthwhile way. That's what I understand. So here I see, before this Zoom class started, right? So sometimes what happened is, after Amatvela, sometimes I read, sometimes I go to bed. Okay, so I knew that I should not sleep after Amatvela. I try my level best at those days not to sleep. But even then, when I start reading, and then over a period of time, I feel slowly sleepy, and then close the book, and then start lying down on the bed and start sleeping. And then, which means I was alone and then doing nothing. So kind of the door was open, so it was for Maya, it was easy to come in and then put me in sleep. So that is kind of laziness, which was something I wanted to get rid of. So this here, you see, there are a group of people and a lot of talks going on, different ideas, different prasad tips and techniques and all that is coming in, right? So different way to think, and I'm also, we have to join. So since I'm joining in, right, so I will also think differently. So that is actually keeping me awake throughout, right? So there is, so with this, I'm completely out from that laziness where I was sleeping, right? So I'm active. So what I understood is, if I find I'm lazy, then then I'm free at that time. So either I have to engage myself with someone else, or if I'm alone trying to do that, then there is again a chance that may fall further lazy. With group, I think there is less chance. So this has become easy for me to conquer that laziness. I hope it made sense. Om Shanti.
Yes,
Just
brother. Thanks
adding
for
in
sharing that
reflection.
practical example. Yeah,
Uh,
Bhai, go ahead.
Raki sister, just a very beautiful sharing by Vijay Bhai. Just adding that, yes, indeed, when somebody is observing you, you can't be lazy. One cannot be lazy when someone is watching you, and if you are in company of someone, definitely. And unless that other person is also lazy, then it's a different thing. So here comes that the group dynamics, the mastermind, the master group. where when we get connected to someone who is at an elevated stage, and there could not be any better option than Bab Dada. That's why in Sakar Murli it was told it's a very small family where Dada is Shiv, Shiv Dada, the Almighty Authority is Dada, and Brahma is Baba, and you, the children, uh, special souls. So if you are always in this company, then definitely there won't be any laziness. And there's one more thing, that sometimes body needs rest. So there is a minute difference between laziness and easiness. So be easy. Don't have to be too much, straining yourself on that. I have to be awake whole night and all that. But since what is the right, what role you're playing in? Suppose you have to be always, you're into multiple roles whole day, and you've got a lot of strain or stress. Then you need to basically take some time out and take rest. That's not the laziness, and that's actually working for the productivity, towards the productivity. So there's a minute difference. We must have the power to discern where is the laziness and where is it's giving rest to yourself and your mind, brain. Om Shanti.
Very well explained, Vijit Bhai. That answers Grijaben's question. She's put across, what if I enjoy laziness and become befikr bacha? The two different distinctions, Grijaben, and I guess the example that Bhai gave clarifies that as well. So in the interest of time, let's observe 1 minute of silence and experience our reflection from today's Murli, sitting on the stage of an angel before we close the session. So let's have 1 minute of silence. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Divine Family. Have a wonderful day with the drill practice of being an angel, meeting with Babdada and the subtle region as in homework. Have a wonderful day. Meet tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.